All right, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Just Donnie K. I've been going back and forth about the name. Not 100% sold on that as well. I know it's been a couple weeks since I've done my last video. I promised another video that's going to be coming out soon, basically how to deal with fear and how to overcome your fears and some methods to deal with that, especially or specifically my fear of flying. In case you don't know, I had a business trip a couple weeks ago to Alaska, and I got stopped. I got stuck in Alaska an extra couple days due to that crowd strike thing that stopped everyone from flying for a couple days, or at least a day. So I haven't been as consistent with you as I'd like, and today I'm gonna work on that. So hopefully in the next couple weeks, I don't have any trips coming up for at least a month. Even on the trip, I'm gonna try to figure something out. I might just record on my camera. I know at the beginning of the year, in one of my previous podcasts, I said that I would work on consistency. And while I may have made a mistake and not been able to record the last couple of weeks due to catching up at work and a lot of other things, travel issues, today I'm going to give you some data on my cut and some methods that I'm currently working on to try to get to 12% body fat by the end of August, maybe early September. And I think overall, I'm just really looking at this being a mindset or lifestyle change, at least for a while. And who knows, it could continue to be part of my life for the foreseeable future. So this week, 3 days this week, I did one meal a day. Next week, starting tomorrow, Monday, I am going to focus on 4 days a week of one meal a day. And while I call it one meal a day, I'm really just looking at a 20 to 22 hour fast daily. So what I do is I just eat dinner every night when I get home. And it might be early because I've been getting really hungry. But when I get home from work at say 4 or 5, I can start eating then, maybe for 2 or 3 hours. Just keep my eating window as short as possible while trying to get in as much protein. I'm not I'm not doing keto. I am having some keto-ish days with low carbs, but that's just kind of based on how I feel. So my goal is just to create a natural caloric deficit. This is not a diet. This is again like a lifestyle type ordeal where literally you just learn to fast again. I think currently in this current day and age, a lot of people don't know how to control their hunger, and most people will say that, oh, if I don't eat for 20 hours, I'm gonna die. That's not even absolutely near the case. It actually opens up a lot of things. A couple things that I've noticed in the 3 days that I did this week was that I had more stable energy during that time. I had a better mood. I was able to focus more, especially at work. Most people know that when you have lunch, especially if you have a high carb or not a very healthy lunch, that um, you may get a little slow and lethargic in the afternoon, and then that can also open up to eating more in the evenings. Um, so especially with carbs, when you introduce carbs, say for breakfast, then a lot of people just don't know how to control their hunger after that. It becomes a snack right after breakfast, and then a heavy carb lunch. Maybe you're just not prepared, and you came to work, and you didn't bring any lunch, you didn't meal prep, and then dinner. It's like, well, I've been eating carbs all day, or not even trying to vilify carbs, but just introducing those carbs early can open up your appetite. So, like I said, the last three or Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it was pretty nice. I definitely had hunger early, as most of you know that I've been doing intermittent fasting pretty naturally for the last like 6, 7 months. Some days I'll eat breakfast and I don't, it doesn't bother me. But this week I literally had to fight through my hunger, which was great because like who does that these days, Even if you do intermittent fasting and it's a 16/8, or maybe you're only doing a 14-hour fast daily, like a lot of people struggle with that. And to be able to open up to 20, 22, maybe 23 hours every day and just say, it allows you to not focus so much on what you're going to eat next. And whereas, you can still think in the back of your mind, like, what am I going to eat for dinner? I'm not saying splurge, but at that point in time, uh, you're probably more likely to make wiser decisions if you can only eat once a day. What do I really want? Is it high protein? Am I getting my natural fats in, my healthy fats, my omega 3s, my omega 6s? Am I going to reduce my carbs? Or even if I eat carbs, am I eating healthy carbs? Am I eating rice? Am I eating potatoes? Am I eating maybe whole grain pasta? One of the big things I've talked about before that I love these days is sourdough bread. Sourdough bread is easier for your body to process because it's been fermented, and then it helps break down the gluten and a lot of the proteins that are in um, common breads these days. Which, if you look at the back of breads, you got sugar, niacin, bleach flour, like yada yada yada. I bought some sourdough today that literally I think has wheat, water, and yeast. So you can't get much cleaner than that. So um, again, that yeast, that sourdough helps break that down. Again, just wanted to touch base and say, okay, so here's the overall game plan actually. So 4 days a week, at least until early September, I'm focusing on one meal a day. So that one meal a day could be steak and eggs. It could be, a chicken salad for dinner. And then afterwards, I could probably have, some Greek yogurt, or I could have a protein shake if I have a sweet tooth in the evening. Essentially, I can really eat anything for my dinner. It's just that I want to focus more on high proteins. If I eat some carbs again, I'm not vilifying carbs this time. I've been thinking about trying going back to carnivore in the future, but I'm not there yet. I did notice on the first day of one OMAD this week is that I could have fasted for probably 36 hours. I felt really good at 22 hours, and I just decided that I wanted to eat, and that's a good thing. So the goal of this is not to completely do an extreme diet. It's just to kind of refocusing in my mind, right, as far as like what I want to put in my body, and that I have the mental acuity and fortitude to take that break, be grateful for what I do have, and then, kind of rehone what I'm doing with my fitness and my healthy eating. I also got back in the gym. I'd been doing some at home workouts for 2 or 3 months, and I just wasn't getting the pump or the workout that I wanted. I'd go out in the garage and I'd do some band workouts, and I just really wasn't pushing it. So I got back to my old program. I'm doing 3 days full body each week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, before work. So in a fasted state, I'm not worried about my anabolic window. Your body will naturally do what it wants to do anyways, and your recovery is largely built into when you sleep. I've really focused a lot on sleep. I typically get 7 to 9 hours, even when I'm waking up at 5 a.m. So generally 9 or 10 p.m. I'll go to bed, and if I wake up at 5:30, I squeeze into the gym before I go to work, and then the rest of the day is mine. And you also think about, if you're doing one meal a day and you're at work, how much extra you have, that extra hour to literally, get more work done and leave it all at work. When you go home, you don't have to think about doing anything extra because you got that extra hour back. You can also take a walk at work, to get your step count up. If you have this sitting job like I do, sitting looking at computer screens all day testing software, definitely it's good to get, why not take 10 and 15-minute walk? I live in Florida, so I'm not doing that because that is probably 97 degrees peak of the heat during the day. Some things that I do to help, make it to that 20 hours is, I'll start my day with coffee, which I know Andrew Huberman says, if you don't know who Andrew Huberman is, I would definitely look him up. He's a scientist, but I don't remember his actual title. But anyways, he's got a really good morning routine where he says to drink water, salted water, electrolytes first thing in the morning. I'm still a coffee person. I'll wake up, I'll drink my coffee, get that going, take a shower, get my gym clothes on, and then I'm headed to the gym. Whereas then I might continue my fast with um, an electrolyte drink or something along those lines. So what a really good natural electrolyte without any artificial sweeteners or anything is called the snake juice. Snake juice, And you can make it at home. It can consists of no salt, which is a lot of potassium chloride, I believe, pink Himalayan salt, and then this is a crazy one is baking soda. Sorry, yeah, baking soda. So baking soda, the stuff you put in the refrigerator. So it's pretty much about a half teaspoon of each. The actual measurements are online. I kind of just play by ear because I've done it for years. So pink Himalayan is probably the highest one that I do. If you think that you're getting too much salt, you may want to look into the Salt Fix or the Salt Cure. It's a book that explains that the human body, especially for hydration, it's important to make sure that we're getting salt, potassium, and magnesium, as well as calcium, I believe. Salt, potassium, magnesium are the biggest three. And I think salt and potassium you can get anywhere from 3 to 5 grams a day. Pink Himalayan salt has a bunch of additional minerals in it, so it's good for you. Again, so is potassium. If you want to get a natural potassium, have a banana. No salt is just an easy way for me to get it. And then baking soda, which a lot of people wouldn't understand. Look up WADA. I think WADA stands for, anyways, it's an athletic association. And WADA basically made baking soda years ago a, uh, a controlled substance or something. So when your body intakes, I think it's easier to access energy. Not 100% sure on that one, but I know that the snake juice definitely helps you extend your fast. So I'll mix some water, salt, potassium, magnesium, and then you can also get those on capsule forms if that's what you want to do. There's other great products such as Noon, I think Nuun, which I've showed before. LMNT, Ghost makes one. There's a lot of varieties out there. Your goal is to obviously get the cleanest one, but that doesn't always work. A lot of the ones that you buy, like Propel, are actually way underdosed, so they're not really going to help you extend your fast. So I start with coffee. I'll do that. I'll do the electrolyte water. Then around lunch, I will, to fight my way through, I'll have a bubbly, which is a carbonated water with natural flavorings in it. And then if I'm still feeling a little peckish or something along those lines, maybe I'll switch up my electrolytes and get a flavor electrolyte. Or I will drink some chicken broth, which some people will say will break your fast, but it's typically under 50 calories, so you're still liquid up to that point. Um, you can also have unsweetened tea. You can have another coffee. Generally, just things with no calories or very low calories. There is a thing called protein sparing fast, which says that if you typically you break a fast with when you spike your insulin. So some people say that if you eat protein alone, then you're not breaking your fast. So I recently got a low carb protein powder called MRE Light, which is okay. It's got a bunch of different flavors, but it is low calories and it's pretty easy on your digestive system. So that's good. So my goal again is to do 4 days, 4 days a week, one meal a day, and then pretty much I can eat a lot more food during that evening meal. I think in the future, when I get down to my goal of around 12% body fat, I'm only like 2 or 3% away. Maybe in a month or two, then I'll go back to just regular intermittent fasting where I'll eat lunch. Probably have a low carb lunch with high protein, and then I'll be able to. There's a thing called anabolic fasting in which you have your carbs at night, or it's called carb backloading, which you have your carbs at night. You keep your insulin low throughout the day, then you spike your insulin with some carbohydrates, typically some fruit or some clean carbs like unprocessed carbs, I guess. So rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes, things of that nature, and then that helps you have a deeper sleep. So you can look into all those things. Um, Already out the gate, 3 days in, and I went to the movies yesterday with the wife and I went to the movies with a friend. We had a couple beers, and then we let it all go, and I had pizza for dinner. And if you're gonna, I built my new game plan out to have those cheat meals on the weekend, but I completely went overboard. Medium popcorn these days uh, when you go to the shows are just insane. The beer, the pizza. We had mellow mushroom. I didn't even know there was mellow mushroom around here anymore. So we were like 45 miles away, and we saw mellow mushroom. We were like, we had to have that. Well, I went from 174 yesterday to 182 overnight. And it doesn't bother me this time, you know. I was already back down to 178 after I got home from church this morning, after fasting for till lunch. And I still feel good about it, you know. I think that you should have those one or two cheat meals. You definitely shouldn't go overboard like I did. I had 5 slices of a large pizza, and I want to say that was, I don't know, probably 2,000 calories or 3,000 calories in one meal. It was quite a bit, and it was definitely low protein, and it was a lot of carbs. So I'm not saying that carbs are bad at all. I think that in my current, where I'm currently at, I think carbs are good, but I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm in my late 30s. I'm about to be 40 in like 6 months. And my body just does not process carbs as well as it used to, especially processed carbs like, you know, some rice, potatoes, things of that nature don't make me bloated. They don't make me retain water as much. I also take creatine daily, which definitely increases your water weight. So if I stop taking that, you know, probably be down lower. And my goal is not necessarily body weight right now. My goal is to drop body fat, and then, you know, reverse diet in the future where I'll increase my protein, and then maybe even increase my carbs once I hit my um, the body fat that I want. I think also changing your eating habits or your lifestyle per se, again, makes you more grateful and makes you analyze your decisions more carefully. So that when you want to have a cheat meal, maybe you've earned it. You know, I've also noticed that doing one meal a day has helped me not even think about having a beer after work because I'm just hungry. So when I get home from work, I might have one more tea. I'll have like a peppermint tea or something, with some honey to break my fast, I guess. And then, you know, straight into dinner. Eat dinner for an hour, however long it takes. Maybe I'll have a snack after that. And then you're really just grateful and tired, really. You know, you're satiated and you're ready to go to bed. So it's definitely made things a lot easier. Uh, so I want to keep this up, see how I can do. I want to keep doing weekly updates on this. My next podcast or my next YouTube video is going to be hopefully that how to deal with fear, how to face it head on. I just need to prepare a little better this week and get that going. And then I'll continue on with the series of things that I've learned in my life coaching training. But I just want to say, everyone, have a great week. And I'm back. I didn't quit. I don't plan on quitting. Again, I think this is part of being consistent, having a different lifestyle. You know, um, it definitely it's definitely something that I enjoy doing, and it helps me learn more and really harness my craft, or just knowledge base, trying to learn more every day. Let me know in the comments or on my Facebook page some topics that you'd like me to research, or maybe that I already have current knowledge of that I can give you more data on. Again, it's not a diet; it's a lifestyle. I guess the last thing to touch on is you can use this with any type of diet. You can do the Mediterranean, you can do carnivore, you can do keto, you can do vegan, you can do vegetarian. You can essentially do paleo. You can do anything. The only thing you're actually doing is restricting your eating window, which again helps you prioritize what you really want to eat. You know, it gives you that time to think about it. You know, maybe you you don't eat all day, and then you're like, you know what, I want to have a steak and potato for dinner, and then, you know, make that wise decision. Or maybe you want to have eggs and bacon, or maybe you want to have chicken breast and a salad. You know, these are all ways to help you be focused on your gratitude and that the things that you have in life. So I just want to say thanks for giving this a watch. And again, any topics that you want to see in the future, please let me know, and I will try to make that happen. Have a great Sunday, and thanks for watching.